You know, guys, I've been shooting the Leica M11P a lot more lately and really enjoying the rangefinder experience. And I think my favorite set of primes, as far as focal length go, would be a good 28, a good 75mm, and then arguably the most useful, a good 50mm. Well, today I'm looking at the Thypoch 50mm f1.4 Simera. I've played with the 28mm, I really enjoyed it. I reviewed the 75mm, one of my favorite lenses of all time, and now it's time to look at this fast 50. I'm Chris Niccolls, this is PetaPixel. Let's see if this is going to complete my ideal trio. B&H is a wonderful place to get pretty much anything you can think of when it comes to photographic gear, videographic gear, and professional audio equipment. They've got a huge store with tons of stock, and right now there's a really great way to buy stuff at B&H. Just get one of their Payboo credit cards because this gives you two big advantages. So first, you can buy all of your gear and save the sales tax. B&H will refund the sales tax back to you when you make your purchases. To check your eligibility for Save the Tax benefits, visit bhphoto.com/payboo, or you have another option. You can finance expensive purchases over 6 months or a year using your B&H Payboo credit card, and this just makes it a little bit easier to spread those costs over a longer period of time. But as always, remember that this is a credit card, so you want to use it responsibly, and you do have to get approved for this card. So to learn more, go to bhphoto.com/payboo. So look into getting your own B&H Payboo credit card today. It is provided to you by Comenity Capital Bank. So Thypoch make an interesting line of lenses, and I've played with some of their more, let's say, niche products like the Kasana 21mm with these gold coatings that are really cool, and the uber compact Eurekas and stuff. These are really neat lenses, but it's the Simeras that I enjoy the most because these are your everyday affordable workhorse rangefinder lenses. Spherical elements, no nonsense construction, and fast f1.4 apertures. And the story with these Simera lenses is that they're supposed to be clean, contrasty, and precise. And so far, that has held true across the lineup. But today I'm going to find out if the 50mm does that as well. But first, let's look at the very familiar handling. So the build of this 50mm lens looks exactly the same as the other ones that I've tried, and I do like that. I mean, for the most part, Thypoch have nice machining. I really like this aperture ring in the front. It's got good click stops, but you also get a switch so you can put it into declicked function if you want to have that smooth and silent control. I love the depth of field guide. I love how the dots just fill up with red as you change your aperture. I think it's a really smart way to do hyperfocal distance focusing. Some people complain that it takes up a lot of space on the barrel, but I still find the manual focus ring very easy to find and very easy to turn. It's got a nice knob on here so I can just get my finger in there and turn it very easily if I want, and also nice knurling. It's also got another cool feature here. So when you get to 0.7 meters, this is where like a Leica rangefinder is going to decouple from focusing at close-up. And so you just have this little click stop there, and it just gives you this reminder that, hey, if you go past here, your rangefinder is not going to give you accurate focusing. You might want to go off the LCD panel. That's just a really nice touch. Now, size and weight-wise, I'd say that the Thypoch Simera 50mm is about where you'd expect. It's maybe a little bit big for the camera. You definitely see it in the viewfinder, and you do have the hood here with the cutout to kind of help with that, but it does block a fair amount of your view. But 49mm filter thread, not too heavy, just about where you'd want it, 270 grams, and machined really nicely. The only thing these are missing, there's no 6-bit coding in there, so the camera's not going to know any EXIF data. All right, guys, so I'm going to talk about my shooting experience with this lens next, and of course I love to show you sample photos, but you're going to look at them and think, those don't look like a park in Alberta. Those look like downtown Tokyo, and you're exactly right. Also, Osaka. I actually had this lens in Japan. That's where the sample gallery is from. I think it's far more interesting than, you know, I mean, we got some ducks and stuff around here, but whatever. So anyways, one thing I noticed while shooting in Japan, focusing ring, nice. I love the throw. It's well damped, really nice. Aperture ring is good too. If there's any complaint I had about the Thypoch, and I've seen this on some of the other lenses, the hoods. They're nicely made, but they don't always like click positively in place. So I was constantly finding this thing like at an angle. Clearly I see it through the viewfinder and I can adjust it, but that's a bit of a pain. I wish that was more solidly built. But otherwise, shooting and how this lens performs. I think the first thing I want to talk about is flare. So Thypoch have already shown themselves to have very good multi-coating in their lenses. No real flare issues. You can see here, I'm not getting any veiled flare, no washed out areas in a lot of cases, even shooting wide open at 1.4. When stopping the lens down, any ghosts are incredibly minor. So I really appreciate how good this lens is shooting towards the sun. Okay, I'm lying to you again. Not all these samples are gonna be from Japan, okay? A lot of the stuff I was doing in Osaka and Tokyo was on the street, you know, things that I found interesting, people and stuff, but I didn't do any formal portraits, so I'm gonna show you one of those next. Let's go to that. Okay, so I love taking pictures of Jordan. Apologize for the acoustics in here. We are in a metal tunnel, but that's because the light outside's kind of flat and uninteresting, but I like the light coming in through the tunnel, coming off the metalwork, and I want to capture that. But I also want to provide some light because it's really dark on Jordan's face right now. I've been playing a lot with these Westcott S18 little mini flashes. Now, before you see me play with one, which is great on camera, I love that I can bounce it. It's just a simple manual exposure adjustment, but what I want to do here now is actually play with a second one and use this with the optical trigger. When it sees this flash fire, this is going to fire too. I've got this set pretty strong to bounce just to provide a little bit of light from above, but this is going to be my main light. And what's great about being wireless with the optical trigger is I can just hold this out with my hand, bounce light off the metal back onto Jordan. All right, here we go. Pow. Nice. All right. I like that shot. So if you want to do this kind of run and gun flash photography on a digital camera, the manual exposure part is super simple. It's great for on-camera flash with a bounce, but they're so affordable that you can easily get multiple units and do some wireless flash yourself. Check out fjwestcott.com to learn more, or click the link in the description below and get yours today. Thanks Westcott for sponsoring this episode. They are PetaPixel's preferred lighting gear partner. Okay, it's time to talk about bokeh. And on the Simera lenses, these always have very round apertures. When you take a look in there, those blades, it just keeps everything nice and circular. And so what does this do to our specular highlights? Well, first off, you'll notice no onion rings. I mean, very clean there, not much of a soap bubble effect, maybe just a little bit of a halo, but nothing crazy strong. You do get a bit of nice optical vignetting, that cat's eye effect, which I personally really like when shooting wide apertures, and everything stays round in shape. And what this tends to do is then give us very soft, smooth looking bokeh, as you can see. I mean, our transitions from in focus to out of focus, clean, smooth, backgrounds, generally just a soft blur and nothing really distracting. And I do really like this look. I mean, I could see a lot of people saying, okay, well, the Thypoch Simeras tend to be very clinical looking, very sharp, very clean, no character. And that's absolutely true, but sometimes I like to have just that clean consistency. And look, I just recently also took to Japan the Light Lens Lab 35mm double aspherical lens, their new one that mimics a legendary Leica formula. The bokeh on that lens is crazy. I mean, it does all sorts of stuff, rounded shapes and like crazy double images and stuff. And I mean, that's cool, that's fun, that's character, but I don't always want that. If I want clean backgrounds, just soft focus, no real distractions, great for portraits or just to really draw attention to my main subject, Simeras are a great way to go. Okay guys, but what about loCA, longitudinal chromatic aberration, those pesky color fringes in the foreground and background out of focus areas that are so hard to get rid of in post? Well, okay, this sample wasn't from Japan. This one was shot at the test chart back here at home, but it's a good test, it's consistent. And as you can see here, shooting at 1.4, we're seeing just a hint of that magenta green split. It's pretty minor. I'm not worried about it. So as far as loCA goes, no issues here. So Simeras are pretty famous for their sharpness, and the lenses I've tested so far have been very impressive, and this is no exception. So looking at the center of our test charts here at f1.4, you can see it's got good detail, but it doesn't have great contrast. Still a little bit flat looking, but when we stop that aperture down to f2.8, fantastic detail, good sharpness, good punchy contrast all over. But when we look at the corners, it's a bit of a different story. You can see here at f1.4, we're not getting much vignetting, just a touch, but it's a little bit smeary. It's a little bit soft, especially towards the extremes. Stopping down the lens helps, but it never quite gets like sharp in focus. I feel like you'd have to stop this lens down quite a bit more if you want to get consistency across the whole frame. So you know what, that's it. I mean, when reviewing these Thypoch Simera lenses as a reviewer, I know there's no surprises, there's no gotchas, there's nothing like that to really bring up because these are just clean and consistent. But when you want like an everyday carry workhorse lens, that's generally exactly what you want. And so hopefully the sample photos and this review have helped you decide if this is the right lens for you. I really enjoyed using this in Japan. It's cool. You know, they're well built, they're affordable, they're clean, and they're spherical and sharp. So this is a really nice optic for the money. Definitely leave your comments below. Let us know what you think, though. We always appreciate that feedback. Check out the PetaPixel podcast, this same channel, or all your favorite podcasting apps. And do consider getting a PetaPixel.com membership. We just keep adding perk after perk after perk, benefit after benefit after benefit. It is easily worth the $3 a month or $30 a year, and it really helps us support our special projects. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you soon with more on PetaPixel.